Okay, Sony RX100 Mark III. Now, for those of you who don't know, Sony make this premium compact camera range, which is the RX100. We're up to number 7, I think now, and it has a different lens to what it had to what I've got on the Mark III. On the Mark III, it's a full frame equivalent of a 24-70 f1.8 to 2.8 variable aperture. So it starts off at f1.8 at 24mm, and as you head towards the 70mm range, it goes the widest you can have is f2.8. Now, compact cameras in general have been in very, very steep decline. Most of the major camera manufacturers don't make them anymore purely because they can't compete with mobile phones. You can't, mobile phone technology has come on so much in the last few years that basically it's made the compact camera market pretty much dead. But Sony and I believe Panasonic are the only other ones that make the sort of premium type ones. They're the only two manufacturers that still make them. Now, the RX100 lineup all contain a 1-inch sensor, so even smaller than a micro four thirds sensor. So the crop factor is quite steep, but it's still bigger than what's in a mobile phone, and you can see it's still very, very capable camera. If I didn't tell you it was an RX100 III that had taken all of the photos you're looking at, would you know? I mean, it has more resolution than the Canon 7D that I posted my previous video with, so there's that. It also records 4K video, which is pretty good. I mean, I don't use it for video. If you're doing a vlog, it's perfectly capable. The only thing is you can't really plug a microphone into it. You have to use its sort of tinny built-in microphone. You do get like little muffle things that, dead cat. I think that's what it's called, dead cat things that you can put on it. But yeah, I wouldn't use it for video. But it's a very useful little thing to stick in your pocket, to take pictures with when you're out and about. If you don't want to use your phone, because your phone batteries these days will go down like anything. Now, it does record RAW as DNG files, I think. But yes, it records RAW, so you can get the full potential of that sensor to edit later in Lightroom, which is what I've done, or you can just shoot in JPEG if you want to. And I believe Canon still make compact cameras that you can shoot JPEG in for next to nothing, those cameras. But yeah, this premium line can go upwards of £1,000. I think you're talking 1,1300 for the latest one, the Mark 7. That, if you can believe it, has Sony's S-Log video profiles in it, so you can record full-on proper video on them now. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure what this camera is really aimed at, what kind of market it's aimed at, unless it's for people who don't want to use their mobile phone to take pictures and video. That's the only thing I can think of, because when you look at how much a mobile phone costs these days and the features that come with it, you can buy one of these second-hand for a fraction of the price. So there is that. And also, if you lose it or if it gets broken, it's not, oh my god, I've got to get a new one, spend XYZ amount of money on one. It's, well, I've broken it, okay, I can probably get another one for a couple £100. And that's the big bonus with these cameras now, because they're so cheap second hand. Obviously not the Mark 7, that one still goes for around 800, 900 ish pounds at the moment. But again, I'm not entirely sure what this camera's for. I mean, I like using it for when I can't be bothered to go out with a full camera setup, because full camera setup, you stuck it on your shoulder, you got a big lens or lenses, and you've got to worry about, you know, is it going to get wet? How am I going to cover it up if it suddenly decides to rain? Because, you know, it does kind of rain a lot in this country. But something like this is very pocketable. It is pocketable, and more often than not, I'll stick it in my jacket pocket if I'm going somewhere, and I'll take a few pictures while I'm there, sort of thing. Yeah, I mean, my experience using this camera is there's certain things you can't use it for. I wouldn't shoot into any kind of backlit. You can probably see on some of these photos, or if you haven't seen them already, you will see backlit by the sun on a bright day. It just doesn't have the dynamic range to cope with the bright highlights. I found that on a few of the pictures. You might see where trees are backlit with bright blue sky and fluffy clouds, and the clouds are blown out. I mean, they're white, but there's just no detail there at all. So yeah, there is that, and shooting at high ISO is not ideal either. But I used some of these photos are from a school reunion last September, and I shot a few pictures inside of people in the dinner hall. They're not included in this, by the way, obviously, for obvious reasons. You know, there's plenty of people in there who would be probably not happy with me showing it on my YouTube channel without their permission anyway. But yeah, there was lots and lots of noise, and I ran it through the denoise in Lightroom, that lovely new AI enhanced denoise feature in Lightroom, and it cleaned them up really well, I have to say. I think the camera maxes out at ISO 6400, so, you know, I wouldn't use it that high, to be quite honest. I mean, there are a few pictures in this that are in black and white interior, and they are shot at high ISO, and the reason I put them in black and white is because in colour they looked awful, but in black and white they have that kind of almost film look. But yes, you can shoot very close up with this camera, I've found as well, which is, it can make for some interesting pictures that you might not otherwise get on a normal with a normal camera. I don't know if you get them on a phone these days. I haven't got the up-to-date latest Apple phone or Samsung phone or whatever. You know, I don't use my phone for this kind of photography. I might use it to take a picture if I spot something strange. In fact, I did do some street photography, some phone street photography. You know what, I might actually put that in as another video just to see what you think of it. This was during the pandemic still, the street photography, obviously, when I was doing my master's degree at Brighton University. So there's plenty of streets with not very many people in, so you had to find other things to shoot. But no, getting back to this camera. So yes, I do like the quality of the pictures you can get out of this camera. So it is surprising. I was very surprised. Yes, the colours are quite nice. They're very easy to edit. I've not had to do tons and tons of editing on these. The picture profiles are nice. You get a nice good depth of field with the lens going from a 1.8, 2.8 to, God, I don't even know what the maximum is. But for me, it's something I just take with me for casual photography, and this is a casual photography camera. I think that's what it's aimed at, a casual photographer. But I have seen some videos recently with the Mark 7 where this person whose video I was watching, they'd shot a lot of night street photography, I think in Japan, and obviously being able to shoot in S-Log, which you can't do with this camera. That's the biggest drawback to this camera. If I could get one of the more modern ones where you can shoot in S-Log, I would. But yes, and they've changed the focal length as well from 24 to 70 to 24 to 200, but it's a more variable aperture. So yeah, I don't know what else really to say about this camera. I would recommend it as a casual camera only. I wouldn't make any serious work with it unless that's the entire point of the work, is to go, hey look, I took this old compact camera and I took these photos with it and I think it's brilliant. it's good enough for social media, it's good enough for the internet, it's good enough for YouTube. If that's all you're going to do, if that's all you want to do is take pictures for social media, for your Facebook page, for your Instagram, whatever else you want to share it on online, it's more than adequate. But if you're trying to do anything kind of more serious, if you're thinking about building a portfolio, then I would consider getting what I would say a proper camera. Yeah, something with a bigger sensor and more dynamic range. Though I would say if you're just looking for an everyday walk around camera, just to have a bit of fun, take pictures of friends, take pictures of your holiday, but you want that extra editing control. So you might decide, you might be afraid to get a full-on camera, so you get one of these instead, and you teach yourself how to edit. Then then to build your confidence up, then you get yourself a proper camera, and you go, oh yeah, and you've already got that editing experience in the background. Also, I mean, it's a nice little gift for a younger child who might be interested in taking pictures. But you know, it's entirely up to you. I'm trying out a new microphone, by the way, a new microphone setup. So if the sound is better, please let me know. If the sound is worse, again, please let me know. So yes, until the next one, goodbye.